Hey everybody, we're here.
We're live.
Sorry we're late, but we're here. We got 2 super chats though, so that's good.
But welcome to Trek Guards, second live in a row this week, like yesterday, and do go back and watch that. We did our top favourite things of the final episode of Season 2 of Discovery, and today we're doing our worst/least favourite things of Season 2 of Discovery, the final episode. And it's just the season finale, which is meant to be the epic resolution to the plot. A lot of interesting points I think are going to come in today, both minor and major, and be interesting to see, because we've done a top 10 list, each actually in an order, Stuart is proud to say. And so we're interested to see what we like, where we value these certain things. I know when I did my list, I was like, yeah. So I was.
Was a tough one. Was a tough one. You got to think. Number one is the one we dislike the most, right? So counting down to that.
And I just kind of found. I just went through all our screen caps, because we do screen caps for each episode, which is a good visual library of the whole thing. And I found 14 things off the top of my head, but I'd really pick them into actual order, and which ones I didn't do.
I have 2.
Oh damn, that one's too good. God damn it! I have to swap one. God damn it!
I have 2 honorable mentions.
Oh no!
Tonight.
Oh no! Okay, I have to swap one because I can't. Okay.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna read the super chats.
Okay.
Dr. Ronison puts in $2. DOT7s. Chekhov's gun be damned, I guess. Chekhov's gun be damned. I'm confused, but the DOT7s were interesting. I don't know if they're something I hate about the episode, but
ambivalence.
Yeah.
And I'll just reveal, I just removed the Ba'u Fighter Rescue and Sorry Sister from my top 10 to swap with the different ones. That's now an honorable mention. It wasn't my runnings.
Give us
out.
Spoilers.
Well, it's no longer on the list, so save it for yours.
But Joseph Petrick, it's in €2 and says, "We'll never mention I missed yesterday's stream." Okay. We're glad to see you back again today, Joseph, because you were here yesterday.
And I feel like I know that guy. I feel like I've heard from him at least once.
No, doesn't seem familiar.
I mean, Joseph Petrick is a very common name. I know in some parts of the world that's just John Smith is Joseph Petrick. Yeah, it's just.
I think he was John Smith for one of our live streams, but yeah. Anyway.
Yes, so I'm going to start sharing, and Stuart, you can talk about the again, reiterate what we're going to do, and talk about the super chats, why they're important, and why that's awesome. Talk to
them. Yes, boss. As always, guys, thanks for joining us. And if you guys want to help out the channel or just get your voice heard, get your opinion or your question out there, what you didn't like about this episode, you can do so, and make sure that we see it by making it a super chat. It helps the channel, and it make sure that your comment or question gets read, because lost in the chat. There's people talking back and forth with each other, and sometimes we miss it, especially if we got a lot of great people here, which we usually do. So we don't want to miss anything that's important.
And this one for sure, I'm sure there's going to be lots of really interesting, small things that we can bring up. Obviously, you guys, we have to read a super chat, so if you bring up a point that isn't in our top 10, that might be a great conversation in itself of a plot hole or something you found.
Yeah. So, but yeah, today, as we said yesterday, we did our favorite things about this last episode, the season 2 finale of Discovery. Today, we're going to dive into the darker, more negative side, which a lot of people were giving us credit yesterday for, keeping it positive. They were sick of seeing negativity, and I commented him back, and I'm like, well, tomorrow's the least favorite things. And he's like, it's okay, man. I'll still be there to watch. But, I'm glad you can go both ways on the topic. So, but yeah, today might be a little bit of a different tone. We're not going to bash anything. We're just going to say what didn't work for us, whether for personal reasons, for technical reasons, maybe how they could have fixed it, things like that, just to let you guys know where our heads are at when it comes to this show, and what we think could be done better, and what they really just did not do well. So yeah, and again, you guys are always welcome to comment just in the regular chat if you can't afford a super chat. But like we said, super chats not only help out the channel, but they make sure that your voice gets seen and heard and read. And you can basically make us say whatever you want by typing in a super chat. Like, you can put in a super chat for $5. It says, Stuart, say Samuel is the very best person that ever existed, and I love him. And I would have to say that to him. And even if there's direction there, if you put in brackets, gaze lovingly into his eyes. I mean, that's something I could do. And then you can screen cap that moment for all eternity, upload it to your own channel, and say, "Oh, the captain and commander in love." Put little hearts around us.
Well, the
Please
problem
don't do that. But
he would never set in real life, so you've got the most forced moment in all of Trek Yards. And for $5 sounds like an absolute bargain.
you say I never love you? Is that what you say? It's a lie.
Anyway, I've now shared it.
Oh, good. So we can start.
How many people do we have? We have 125.
We do, and I'm gonna go first this time because you went first last time. Because last time you had a list and I didn't. This time I actually have a freaking list. I will put in my suggestion first after I read the super chat that just popped up. You didn't hear half that. It cut out, didn't it? I could tell by the look on your face.
Close enough.
Yeah, same with you. Every time you cut out, I can kind of get stitched together what you said. So, anyway, Polish Gamer puts in £5. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything, or was Samuel late enough to buy me some time? He was late enough to buy you some time. We've only been here for 5 minutes. So, considering starting at 5, that tells you how late Samuel was. But that's okay. Shh. Shh. You're good. All right, so my number 10.
Yes.
My number 10 is building the suit so hastily and so well. And just the fact that the suit could be possibly even built from the equipment they had on the ship. Just the whole building of the suit process is my number 10 because it was ridiculous and it was really kind of shoehorned into this last episode when they had like lots of time in the previous episode waiting for Enterprise to get parts constructed, get it underway. And a lot of people pointed out that they were just finishing up the finishing touches on the suit in a rush after the battle started. But it didn't seem right because the last episode was all goodbye. Oh, bye. By the way, goodbye. Bye. Like just
Slash will come with you. Not really goodbye.
They should have been cutting between building the suit and those goodbyes in the last episode as well. There was like, yeah, we can do the suit thing. Go do it. Bye. Next episode. Oh, we got to build the suit. Shit. And they get to it. So I think it could have been done a lot better, just interspersed throughout the other episode of them actually building the suit and be working out one or two little problems with it and then moving on. So that's my number 10.
Yeah, it's a problematic plot point. The problem is the show forgets about episodes before and after it. So if you start the episode fresh after a week, it's like, ooh, the energy, good, the scene, the moving. But then you realise that if you watch it back to back, then you realise, well, why did you just spend a day not... But I guess they could argue that it took 8 hours while they're at warp and wait, while they spored and wait for the Enterprise. It took 8 hours to get the materials in the computer, and then it took them time to build it, like no time to build it in comparison. But Control was going to be there in less than 1 hour. They built the suit in less than 1 hour.
Yeah.
Not a long time.
Yeah, it would have been better if it spaced it over a couple hours, like they were getting stuff together for it. And, we ran into a problem with this polymer. Oh, well, to do this. And it cuts to another person doing something else. It's like they're working on it and then go to the goodbye scene or something. I think there's many ways you could write that to make it feel like it's a progression. Or just do a friggin' montage if that's the way you want to do it instead of the way they did it.
Yep.
But anyway.
It took longer to charge a time crystal with a new supernova than it did to build a super secret time suit. Yeah. One tech we invented that episode, one tech we've had for 20 years it took. It's a strange situation. And that might be on my list, so I won't go into it too much. But yes, it's problematic.
Might be on your list. It's on your list, and I know it's on your list because you had a graphic for it right away. And Anyway, so what's your number 10, Samuel?
My number 10... you gotta double check all my things. My number 10 is I've given them all little names. Is no Enterprise refit to be closer to TOS canon, and this is more a missed opportunity than a thing. But it's just that that you spent the time and effort to make that robot for one shot, which did nothing. Spend that time modeling and designing the robot to make another iteration of the Enterprise. You've got time, logic, story, plot reason to do so, and you can sell a new toy, and you can really make fans happier. And could you have imagined if it actually was the original Enterprise but with, say, the same looking deflector, the same Bassards, the same blue grills, but actually everything else is the same, and it's only in those 2 shots, and it leaves, and it's like, oh, now we're in TOS. Like, that could have been their way of actually ending on canon. Like, the outside still looks great, the inside is still new, whatever. Just a massive missed opportunity, and I can't imagine it didn't go in the boardroom of them saying, well, why don't, it's been blown up, why don't we just change it a little bit? So it's just a massive missed opportunity, and just a waste of the... they could have got so many, literally the last shot is it warping out. Can you imagine if we see, even just the blue, 2 little impulse at the back and blue, and then, if all these things be the same, we would have left the fans on such a... rather than a... Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're now leaving this time period, it wouldn't have mattered either. So it seems like, just a mistake in terms of easy win, and they could have sold another version. If the intention is to make everything a bit different, then make it 25% different still, but make it 25% closer, and you can still make a new toy. And like I said, Eaglemoss will make them, and you'll make hundreds of thousands of more pounds. So it's just a real missed opportunity.
Yeah, I like how you put that in there. The whole you could sell more toys idea, because that'd be fantastic. Plus, we get something more like we want. But they don't want. It's almost like they don't want us. They don't want to admit that we're right. It's like, this is how we designed it. This is what you're getting. So live with it.
I think this in the D7 is a symbol of, the D7 and the TOS uniform is a symbol of, this is how far we'll go.
Yeah.
We're not going to make your Star Trek. We're not even going to try and be an actual representation of your era. We do our own thing. This is as close as we can possibly get. Accept it or go away. And we're like, okay. Which is kind of that symbol of not linking to the visual, even just the evolutionary canon. There's so many nice links you could do that they just don't do. D7 being an exemption, although it's certainly not utilised very much, which could imply that they had little confidence in it, in the sense that, we don't really want to show it, but we'll go have a new D7. So, yeah.
Yeah. And Matt Deckard is right. He says, thank you for telling the truth. We want Star Trek toys. And Matt, I totally agree with you. I would buy each iteration of the Enterprise because I already have and will continue to do so. So, and their thinking was probably like, oh, well, if we give them a straight strut one, nobody's going to buy this other one. That's not true. Some people are loving on this one. Yep. And even the people like me that really want the straight struts, I would still buy this one because it's still a fantastic design. It's John Eves' design, right? So...
Well, it's funny you say that, but you could already have bought the Discovery Enterprise on the Eaglemoss store since January.
Yeah,
it is now the one that's in the Eaglemoss subscription. So now is the best time to put it because everyone has already paid for their season 1/2 Discovery Enterprise. So then a second one, they would have, I don't know. It's just a real big thing.
Yeah. All right, so time for my number 9. My number 9 is the new drones, the new fight, like the new drones we saw, which we didn't actually get a chance to really see them do anything. Yeah, that's a hard one. I'm trying
to rush and try and find a picture of.
Yeah, there's no explanation for them. We have these things. Yay! Are they single? Like, give some kind of information about them. Let's see them a little bit in action. They're very weirdly designed. They don't feel like something that's Federation necessarily. Then you also got the little spinny things that the landing craft as well in that fight. It just felt like more ships for the sake of more ships, but again, they could sell more toys, as you said, because these drones will be available from Eaglemoss.
Well, yeah, but that's not. But the thing is, a sub drone won't sell
as much as an Enterprise.
I mean, a ship you didn't see close up, a ship you don't really have a sense of, a ship with no detail because it was not designed to be seen close up. I mean, the drone ship, sure, is the hero of that, the enemy hero, but I don't think they'd make a little drone. I mean, it might be like a subscriber gift or something, but it's like the spinny landing craft. Like, that barely would be a toy.
Well, and the thing is,
interest for that.
People are going to buy those, though. You say that, but as soon as they become available on Eaglemoss, people are going to buy them.
But
they're not going to be like best sellers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, for for sure, but they're going to still be there for that opportunity, or for the completist, the person that wants all of them. It's going to be something that they're going to have to scoop up. So it's actually a brilliant idea to add new ships. But I agree with you; they should have done another Enterprise for sure. But I would have liked to seen, one of these ships, like a pilot, get in, have it launch, kind of get a minute or a couple seconds from its perspective, dodge something, fire, do a really cool maneuver, and then pan off to something else. That would have been neat. It's like, we felt like we had a minute with this ship, something like that. So I wasn't a fan of the new drone designs.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously it's a drone, so there'd be no pilot in it. But I get what you mean. Just like add a GoPro on it and see it do something. Because that's the problem with these vessels. How strong are they? We don't know.
Yeah.
How big are they? We don't know. How fast are they? We don't know. Do they have shields? We don't know. Well, they do have shields, but you can get through them. Do they have torpedoes? We don't know.
Oh, I don't mean those drones. I don't mean the Section 31 drones.
Oh.
I mean the new Federation ones.
You should have been clearer, Stuart. Oh, goodness.
I said show a person get in them and launch and.
Oh, but they're not drones then. Because I assume they were manned because
fighters. I said drones, fighters, and little spinny crafts, like all of them. But
I
specifically mean the dildo shaped ones. That's more descriptive.
Sorry, you really confused me there.
Yeah. No, those drones, they're nothing. They're just like a square box with a red light on them. But no, I mean like the new Federation that I said don't look at all Federation.
Yeah, but that could still apply to Section 31. Since
I know.
Still... You understand why I was confused, but okay, those things. Yeah, they look very Orville.
Yes, those things. They look more like escape pods or special sensor probes, or yes, Orville design. They don't feel like they fit in this universe, but it would have been cool to have like a minute with them, or an explanation of, yeah, it's one person fighter or something.
Yeah,
because we don't know exactly what they are. But anyway,
and
so those are on my list because I hate them.
Yeah, they don't even make an impression. It's funny how Paraguayan fighters, which are a not actually redress, but it's a very similar build to the Marquis Raider, has much more of an impression led. Either it's never like highlighted in the sense that it's never called out in dialogue. It's always just like fighter wing. These things are called out in dialogue. They're close up shown, and it's like no one cares, Yeah, they've got cannons. But
yeah, they don't look advanced at all, really.
I mean, the cannons, way Federation-y. And still, I wouldn't want to pilot, because at least you can imagine the shuttle. The shuttle has shields, it has warp, you can add weapons, phasers to it. Okay, you know what? Our shuttles can do everything. They're okay.
And subscribe to Life says, reminded me of the Mars Defense Grid. Yeah. Exactly like the little Mars Defense things that Rick Sternbach designed. Yeah.
Which are also ineffective, but kind of against a Borg cube. But these things, I mean, I guess, because we know that's the way they go forward, I guess they're like leaning in, like lying down forward, got controls.
Yeah.
But that would... Looks like they should go the other way, basically. And then other things, just Yeah.
Yeah. And Bo Svensson puts in $2 and says, apparently...
Thank you.
Enterprise has no torpedoes left. No, it fired its only 2 torpedoes at Discovery. Or its few torpedoes at Discovery.
Yeah, that was a weird... Yeah, especially since the Klingons just come in and fire torpedoes, so obviously the CG artists know what and how to do it.
Yeah.
And they kind of forgot. Bit strange, but strange. So my number 9... God, I got too many folders I keep swapping between.
Okay.
Oh yeah, number 9. Everyone getting to and from the battle within a day, yet no Federation ships. Because in the space of this one battle, we see... Well, first of all, they actually spore jump to this location, wherever it is, somewhere. Okay, fine. And the Enterprise knows where they are, but it's a blackout... And the Enterprise can get you in 8 hours at full warp, and the Section 31 ships can get you in 8 hours and 9 hours because they're 1 hour behind. Okay, great. But without meaning to, not part of the plan, this place is also 9 hours and 20 minutes from the D7 fleet and a cleave ship, and just as close, literally by the minute as Kaminar, and closer within 4 or 5 hours or 3 hours of Vulcan or wherever they are, probably Vulcan.
Because of Sarek. People forget about that, yeah.
And they then get, because they leave as they, because he obviously psychically knows where she is, but they got there ASAP, so I guess, wouldn't it be annoying? He's like piloting, and then they just jump. It's like, God damn it, Commander, they jumped another 10 hours that way.
And you got to think too. You needed time for Tyler to somehow get from there in a shuttle or something to the other place and then back.
Yep.
I love what Vile Mike just said though. Hold on. They only had 2 torpedoes because they didn't have nacelle launchers. Yeah, the new torpedo nacelle launchers weren't installed. It was coming on Tuesday, and so they had nothing. But yeah, no, that's a good one. Just the time and distance thing and the amount of ships. Again, really playing loose-goosey with their whole, distances and things like that kind of is irritating.
It's very J.J. Abrams, which is, a lot of people saying people working on it, where it doesn't matter. You get wherever you go, but in the Star Trek world, we know it takes 3 weeks in the XO1 time period to get to Vulcan or to Kronos, one or the other. And the fact is, if, like you said, if Tyler could get from Discovery, because remember, he left as Pike beamed aboard. As soon as he beamed aboard, he walked to the bridge, and then the Section 31 ships warped in. So he managed to get to Klingon space and back within the battle, within that less than an hour. And we know the torpedo 15 minutes is most of the battle because most events happen around that. So,
well,
it's very silly, and it presents if this battle was really set up in 3 episodes, because they've had episodes of TV shows where they send off multiple crew, and they each get, reinforcements from each of them. So, for example, 3 episodes ago, Tyler said, "I'll be back, send me coordinates when you know where you are." He jumps away, and then we forget about him, and then he comes back in Klingons. Great. And then Saru goes off, because he wasn't useful in the battle particularly, goes off to get Kaminar, and then another person goes off to try and get the Vulcan. He sees some Vulcan ships, because, Spock goes off to get Vulcans, and they all come at different points, and that would have been interesting, although convenient timing, but you can't really explain. And do you really think L'Rell... do you think L'Rell's going to get in trouble because she violated Federation... Well, she violated the neutral zone, if the neutral zone exists yet. Oh, no, they didn't call it neutral zone, but she violated the Federation borders to help in a battle, but she still is in Federation space. She didn't... the flagship of the new Chancellor and a cloaked ship. I'm sure some sort of... don't have cloaked ships inside Federation space. For the greater good, but it's like she broke several Federation laws, and Starfleet didn't care, didn't do anything. You have 7,000 ships. Get some of them. So yeah, I know we've talked about it a few times as we went, and often you were like, forget about it. But this one kind of takes the cake with how many. So that's why it's my number 8.
Super Coops, what's in £5? We got a lot of super chats. She talked a lot. I hated the Section 31 drone ship. I literally shuddered at the TV when we see the drones released. Also, Federation weird fighter drone things. Just why? Yeah, well, there still might be other stuff on my list, guys. So hold up. Polish Gamer puts in £5. Like you guys are saying, the drones on both sides seem unnecessary to me. It would have been cooler to have the Federation fleet and the Section 31 fleet fight. Yes.
And cheaper to make.
Again, we'll talk about that probably in a little bit. Hillard Davis 2, or the second, puts in $1.99. All the 70s style pre-Star Trek TMP. It does have definitely a pre-motion picture vibe to the ship designs and stuff. But Joseph Petrick puts in €2. Joseph Petrick is here. I haven't seen him for a while. Nemesis battle had more gravitas. This was shit. Yep. Again, battle talk might happen soon. And Gmon78 puts in £2. Disbelief needs to be fired, not suspended. Yeah. True. Suspension of disbelief can only go so far sometimes, but
Yes. And as you can see,
all right.
guys, the more you super chat, the more we have to read and
Yes.
let you all know. So let us know what you think in the super chat, and we'll let you know. And 230 people watching, please click that like button. Only 60
Like.
guys need that like button.
Click the like thumb. Do it. Like
Yes.
Spike. Hashtag like Spike.
Pike like
Come on
Spike.
now.
Perhaps
Pike like
will
Spike.
be mentioned here somewhere, maybe. Who knows? He'll be in one of the
Yes.
plots.
Ooh.
Stuart, you're number 7.
No, my number 8. We're
You're
only
number
an 8.
8.
Wow. I can go to 7 if you want. You can skip 8. It's fine.
8.
8. Oh. My number 8 is Control's plan. Or lack thereof. Because there's absolutely nothing.
Please elaborate, Stuart.
Literally puts all his nanobites in one body instead of multiple baskets, if you will. And only on one ship. And we've done a video on this talking about how stupid the plan is, or the lack of plan. Getting the sphere data by going over to Discovery, trying to download the sphere data directly, and it's a computer program, all right? It should be seated itself in every computer it's touched, interacted with. All the Federation listening posts that's it's shut down. They should all have fragments of it in there. All the ships should have it. Like I said, make a few more nanobite bodies, nano whatever the hell they are. Make a few more bodies, so at least one per ship of a Section 31 member, because we know he did it to Gantz.
And to
or
link
Control's done it to Gantz.
And to link in there for 1 second, you said about linking to the listening posts. I'm sure Section 31 has access to specifications on other ships. Wouldn't use the listening post to take over other Federation ships. Can you imagine if it was like an infection, and that was the rest of the season, that ships had to, downgrade their computer core, because it got in through like the holographic systems. That was how that was a workaround, and so then then Section 1 has 100 ships, 200 ships. If you know you're going to kill Control like that, why not make it even more realistic? And why wouldn't Control do that? I mean, I know 31 ships should be enough, but if you've got listening posts, why don't you have the other ships?
Yeah, and also the lack of tactical superiority with the drones. Like we said, fire them all single file into the Enterprise, take out the Enterprise, then quickly disable Discovery. If you want to get over there, fine. But you could you could tractor the ship. Lots of different tactics could be used to acquire the sphere data and not destroy Discovery. So it was just a missed opportunity and a stupid plan for such a smart tactical computer.
Because I feel like Control isn't just a computer program. What was it designed for, Stuart? Its actual one function of creation.
It was a tactical analysis system, essentially, to monitor fleet movements, prevent a war, essentially. So it was. So you'd think it would be a little bit smarter in its execution of said tactics. So I don't know.
Now they could have had really interesting philosophical things of when Control becomes a human body, it loses most of its intelligence to swap, because it can't contain all the knowledge in its head. The more ships it controls, more drones it controls, the less intelligence it has. I mean, you could do really clever things to explain the dumbing down of the villain, but without any of that in place, you're left with just what's on screen. I mean, if you were to summarize, Stuart, the space battle plan, just the space, not the whole, but just so Section 31 Control warps in. What is the actual battle plan of this fleet?
Well, we're going to get to that later in one of my list options.
Okay.
I'm on my list.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But what was the summary for this one, though? What did you call it? It was
just Control's plan.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof, yes.
What do you guys think? Because we have a really good video about this coming out soon.
Yes.
And it's a doozy. It's a doozy.
Tis a doozy. So we have some super chats here.
Yes.
Lore Actual puts in $5. For me, I think it was the never before seen or heard of R2-D2s. Again, we did a video today talking about that, the DOT-7s, and it might be on somebody's list, maybe as an honorable mention, but we'll get to that when we get to that, I'm sure. Roberto Suarez puts in $2. Should abort mission when Leland came on board.
It's true. They kept trying to go to the future despite knowing the dude they're running from is on the ship.
Yes.
Like, Saru didn't know Giorgio was killing it, and yet you're still running towards it. Do you really think Giorgio can take out the big baddie of this? I mean, she did.
Yeah.
But why isn't she saying? Why isn't she asking him? Where's Leland? Sir, we don't know. Okay, let's still go to the future. Okay. Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
a lack of common sense. But more super chats.
that's something else that might be mentioned earlier
Yes,
later too.
but
So
jump in, guys. Jump in.
Barry Allen puts in £1.99, £1.99.
Run.
Section 31, a secret group that everyone knows about. Yeah.
Barry.
Lots more than just this episode, though. And Roberto Suarez puts in $2. Teleporters work on transporters and admirals. I mean, torpedoes and admirals. I think you mean transporters work on torpedoes and admirals. I can see them not wanting to be in the torpedo out because it might be too unstable and it could really cause an explosion, having done that. But yes, definitely admirals. Definitely admirals.
Yes.
And if you got a bulkhead that has slid halfway down, theoretically, you should be able to transport that bulkhead out of its housing and transport it right back into the slot where it's supposed to be, just a couple feet down. Yeah. That should work like that.
This is the thing about, especially since they've upped the tech in this era tenfold. Both in transporters tech in terms of speed tech, and as weapon tech in terms of shield, all the tech.
Mm-hmm.
And so to create problems that can't be solved, like normally you work out, well, this is the problem, and you write in dialogue, 2 or 3 ways that we can't solve it to make the audience know we've thought about it. But to not have that, you look a bit dumb. But yes, control plan, lack thereof it. My number 8. Yes. So, and do I actually have a picture of it ready? I kind of do. Let me find a better one while you talk about Super Chat, because I need to find a picture of.
Oh, we have a super chat.
Hopefully we do. I mean,
hold on a second. Just
guys...
trying making a little visual for one of mine coming up. Oh, we do have one. Jason puts in $5. Saru's sister flying that craft was the stupidest thing ever seen in Trek in a while. She's literally a caveman with no knowledge of technology. Well, yes. That is something else that might be on the list soon. So you guys are beating this to them.
Which is good. You're making us talk about them early. So my number 8, and I will quote my own comment here. The Red Angel suit, an unmodified pre-TOS suit, can make wormholes for itself, for a ship, mega powerful signals detectable across the galaxy, an EMP super powerful, and have unlimited data storage. Because we were kind of hoping that this suit would be modified. It would be, from the future, that Mama Burnham would have got something from the future, some relic that enhanced it, and that would explain all of its cool advancements. Oh, and also it can phase on people, and also, all this stuff. And no, literally the factory default suit, designed by Michael Burnham's mum for Section 31, which I guess she designed into it, an EMP device, and designed into it red signal blast like we've seen across the galaxy. Not sure why. Wow, Stuart, how lucky is that for the crew of Discovery that Michael Burnham's mum didn't just design a suit that can travel in time? They can travel in space and EMP. And so if she hadn't, then the plot lines, it's like a James Bond movie, one of the classic ones. What have you got for me, Q? Well, we've got a pen that'll explode, a car that has got ice treads, and a scarf that it has unlimited fibre strength. And what we'll need for this mission, we'll need a pen that explodes, a car with treads for the ice mission, and a scarf to get down from a tower. Oh my god, the coincidence factor.
Yes. Yes.
But that's a daft spy, campy movie, some of the other ones. Just to have a suit that can do all that, and literally be built within 1 hour, factory settings. Not even Stamets added a module. We hoped that would be a thing. It just... Because, I mean, if Section 31 can make, with their tech 20 years ago, can make a signal that powerful that Detmer says, nothing I've ever seen could ever create this, it's more powerful than anything we've ever seen before, and Section 31 could make it easily 20 years ago, sorry, and yet their ships aren't powerful enough to defeat 2 ships that are underpowerful, I mean, it's absurd. You know, it's criminally absurd, and they didn't possibly address what this thing can and can't do. I mean, just rebuild the suit, Stuart, for the EMP power. I mean, come on. Just build it for that, or the red signal, because yeah, I mean, in your opinion, would you need the time crystal to power the EMP?
Yes.
Why?
Like the time crystal powers everything actually, because there's no other power sources.
Well, I mean, it can. Well, it's still. It's still. I mean, it's still. No, I guess put after that. But by that logic, how the hell could she design a suit that utilized perfectly time crystal energy and time crystal mechanics to, like, wow, what a coincidence that she knows exactly the calibrations to power a thing with a thing and a thing without any testing. It's like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. Roberto Suarez puts in $5. In the end, when Michael travels back in time, why not tell her past self to avoid the sphere and let it die? Because
God, that would solve some problems.
Too easy.
I'm talking about that, yeah.
Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $2.99. 100 likes. We'll pay again at 150.
Yeah.
Hashtag Pike Like Spike. Thank you. And Lord of Paguas, I don't know, $1.99.
Thank you.
How did her mom move the sphere with her suit? I don't necessarily think she moved the sphere specifically. Maybe it does have a huge ass tractor beam in it. I don't know. I think she just diverted its course somehow. Maybe created like a natural barrier, like a asteroid field or something that had to like swing around, or that'd be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, the implication is that the sphere was going to die in decades, hundreds of years. That's when Control finds it. Never found by Starfleet, just found by Control. But I believe this in dialogue that the mum untethered the gravity of the sphere and therefore caused it to die. Which is kind of killing a creature, but why would she care? And by doing so the way she did it, I guess it went on the path of discovery, although she was only on that path to try and go after Spock's shuttle that was taken by Giorgio, even though Spock was actually on Vulcan. Don't know how he got to Vulcan from the shuttle and then had a shuttle go not to Vulcan, and then that also doesn't really make sense. And if she wasn't following the Spock shuttle, it wasn't Spock, wouldn't have bumped into the thing. So I guess Michael's mum also made the...
Yeah. Nonsense.
That was a season problem, not a individual episode problem. So what do you think of my number 8 about Burnham's just God suit, really?
Well, yeah.
Unmodified pre-TOS. That's the key to that story.
Oh, yes. It's way OP, and it kind of ties with my little bit of building the suit, being able to just do it. Oh, yeah, we have all the equipment and, tech we need. Bullshit. But anyway. All right, so we are now on 7.
7. There we go. I can say it now.
My number 7 is Poe the Queen flying a shuttle, helping them out.
Oh.
Being able to recognize that the drones have refractive lattice shielding because of the wave pattern. She can tell. That was so helpful.
Yes.
Why was she still there? Why did we need that scene? Why did we... Maybe if we're going to see her character down the road eventually, maybe. But she was still in a shuttle at the end. Didn't get killed, which is amazing. But she was telling them to go, go, go. Yeah, it's just dumb. I mean, if the character plays a part at some point down the road, then okay, fine. Maybe that did make sense. But it's something I felt that didn't need to be there, personally.
And like I said to you last time, the fact that she wasn't beamed aboard with like guards or any sort of, it makes it look even more silly now because did you call back to a planet saying, "Hello, planet that I rule. I'm just gonna disappear with the Federation ship. I'll see you sometime. I'm Queen. Shut up." I mean, I think they'd have some words about that, but I guess not. They don't care. Their Queen is disappearing into a battle situation. And then how did she steal the shuttle, and the person who the shuttle was meant to be piloted by not report back? Because if someone steals a shuttle, there's only so many people that could do that. Wouldn't you assume? Oh no, Control got on board. He infected somebody. That
and all the shuttles are out. all the shuttles are out of the shuttle bay anyway, so there's no way she could get on one really. So whatever.
But you know what I mean? Wouldn't you instantly think, oh my god, intruder alert, we got a shuttle stolen, rather than, look, it's just this lady. And how does she fly a Federation shuttle that's definitely more advanced than her planet shuttle, easily and effectively? Yeah. So is your problem with it the stupidity, or just that it didn't need to be in the episode at all? Or I guess both.
Both.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary for sure. So.
Yes.
But that's it. That's simple.
Yeah, she's not great. I mean, she's fine, but yeah, definitely didn't need to.
Sure.
I think though, because you know the spirit of the 2 episodes. I think they realized, damn it, the battle needs to be 1 episode. So what filler can we do? Because we said all along, if they make a short season finale, it'd be very anticlimactic. And if the episode was just the main plot points, it'd be like 38 minutes. They'd be like, well, that was a battle and then an end. Wow, that was worth waiting for. So they just threw everything else in it. What have we got? We've got this lady. We'll film a quick scene, because they filmed the last 2 at the same time. So they already had her on set. You might as well just film her in the shuttle set for 2 minutes.
Yeah. John Arcaki, $2 though.
Thank you.
Only thing missing from the suit is a lightsaber. I mean, it probably has one.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Laser cutter. And Joseph Petrick puts in €2 and says lettuce shield. What I understood. No, it was a refractive lattice shielding.
But I guess the big ships don't have that. Or maybe they do, and that's why they survived all the hits, because no one ever gets blown up in this episode.
Well, yeah. So what's your number 7?
So I got I need to eat that cookie munchies, because I saw the cookie and I was like, I need to eat that cookie. My number 7. And this is obviously, obviously at some point we'll get some repeats, and this is one of those. My number 7, it's quite higher, is my Build of the Time Suit in 1 hour. Higher on my list because we watched the scene and it goes from literally they'll be here in 1 hour, and obviously they've mostly finished building the suit, but then they're already there. So someone have already appeared. They have 8 hours, and just the pace is so weird with the last episode, that there's so many goodbyes. I mean, I guess they've got other people working on it, but if you've got time to say goodbye after, or just not at all. Do your job. I mean, this is the catchphrase of this the catchphrase of the season, and it gets so grating. To save all sentient life in the universe or in the galaxy. It's like, okay, I mean, why? What? Who? Huh? So if you need to save all sentient life in the galaxy, maybe build the suit first and have it charged first, rather than saying goodbyes first and kissing Tyler first. So it's just weird. It's a great scene, but it feels so dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be done on the hangar, power tested, ready to go. And the fact is, they didn't need to be there at all. Why didn't they just spore further away, give themselves more time to build it, be done? I mean, there really is no reason for the battle anyway. You know?
Yeah.
So the whole point wasn't to destroy Control. There was no plan after Discovery takes the thing away. Because when Discovery takes the thing away, guess what? You've still got a armada of very advanced ships with drones. I mean, what's the plan next? Destroy them all? I mean, where's the next? It's as if they knew the season would end and they could kill Control in the battle they didn't try to kill Control on. Wow.
Hopeful 3135 puts in £2 and says the sudden unexplained redesign of the Telosians. Well, that wasn't in this episode, but yeah, we'll accept that. All right, so we're now down to number 6.
Yes.
And number 6 is just the battle. There's too many goddamn ships. Too many small, insignificant explosions and just nonsense going on screen, when I would have preferred to see the bigger capital ships tangle and have a few good hits and do some tactics and pull away and actually get some damage instead of just whatever the hell they were doing and the flak fire and everything.
Yes.
So just too many ships is what I listed it as. So not necessary. It was a cool visual effect, I guess. Somebody said it's the best Star Trek battle they've ever seen, and I totally disagree with that. It's interesting, but it's totally for naught. There's no tactical advantage to it, as we found out. It just seems stupid considering that all those ships, over 200, coming out of the Enterprise and Discovery is not only ridiculous but impossible. And then plus, considering that each of those has to be manned again, there'd be no crew aboard either ship essentially. So stupid, dumb, not necessary.
And let's say for a minute that with Control's confidence factor of look again, I think we can assume that at least 200 drones have appeared to match it. But if you need to take two shuttles to kill one drone, and guess what? Each of these drones are warships in themselves. You've got shuttles retrofitted with some guns. I mean, one is better in every way, and it takes two to kill. They should mop the floor with the shuttles very, very quickly, and then kill Discovery and Enterprise. But not. And it's funny how we don't even get a sense at the end that most of their crew got killed. I mean, there's not even a moment of, damn, we lost half the crew of Equipment Memorial on, for all those that lost at this battle, And it is weird that they launched 200 drone ships, but wouldn't it be more interesting, you've got 31 drone ships anyway. They're just big ones. Like, they had to invent weak ships that Discovery could destroy because realistically they can't destroy a single section of their one big ship. Realistically, they should be stronger than both ships. So they had to make small ships just to blow up and kill. But then what's the point? Not much point. It's weird.
Yeah, it was just unnecessary. So, All right. So, what's your number 6?
Are there any more super chats? Always good to jump out to the fans.
Just one. Hopeful 3135. We already read it. So there are none. No.
Ah.
That was this Telosian one.
Excellent.
I thought I missed one that you saw, but no.
No. My number 7. No,
6.
my number 6. And again, these are some of these things, but it's interesting where all diverge. Mine 6 is Control's battle plan or lack thereof. It sort of goes on a little bit with this one as well, but the writer's room. How do you pitch this battle? It is Control warps in and shoots. So what's the battle plan? Oh, that was the plan. Oh.
Sounds good. Do it.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Sounds like an epic finale for the Discovery Season 2. And it's doubly weird when you consider the last episode. I rewatched a little bit in prep. If you remember, the Section 31 ship that is the decoy for Burnham is taking Burnham to outside Federation space, and they call it out, and Burnham says, Control doesn't do anything on accident, and then within 20 seconds, all the other ships appear. They decloak, I guess, and now we can see them all because it's good to let them know they're coming and give them the advantage. They chose to be active and show them, and they all just warp to them. So whatever plan he had is ruined, and then the plan is just, I'll attack you. Like, there's nothing there. Even when they jump, there's no... Because I'm sure Control would assume that Discovery would keep spore jumping across the galaxy, and yet all they do is just go in one big fleet. Like, logically, you'd keep sporing. You'd spore to the Beta Quadrant, and he couldn't find them. But luckily enough, they didn't. So luckily enough, the Discovery's battle plan is so poor that Control's battle plan can be so poor. And then I just can't buy for a second that 31 ships can't take out 2. And so Control must actively be not doing stuff on purpose. I know they're not trying to destroy Discovery, but at least kill Enterprise, or rip through it beyond style. That would have been epic, and let it be refit even more. But it's lack of winning. I mean, it would have been great if they'd said in the season, Discovery's a bit of a crap system. Oh no, it's taken over. But they said it's the best thing ever, and we all use it, and it's amazing. And yet, independently, with the full fleet that it's got, it can't defeat 2 ships. I mean, there's no... It's just... Again, they didn't know what to do with this. And it probably would have been better if it had just been a random computer program, Or like Control from the future, the post-evolved one, send back a simple algorithm, like the only version of itself it could correctly put inside of its own probe, like could hold, and it's an uber stripped down version. and that's what has limited abilities and thinking and whatever, and its plan is very simple, and most of it goes into Leland, blah blah blah. But this is the raw control. Why can't it do the one thing it was designed to do? It's very strange.
All right, number 5. Halfway there. Number 5. Leland's piss poor aim just because Michael wasn't on the bridge. In the vision, we saw him shoot everybody pretty much in the head, kill everyone on Discovery's bridge, hold Michael Burnham up by her neck, and then annihilate her. But yet, when he breaks on this time, because Michael Burnham's not on the bridge and futures changed, he misses everybody, hits somebody in the shoulder, and Uwasham, or whatever the heck her name is, hits her in the shoulder, and then scuttles off into another room to download data. It's just remarkably stupid. I wanted to see people die there. That would have been epic.
Yep.
But no, it just, all the stakes were gone because he kept missing everybody, and it was just not necessary, not needed, not explained, didn't make any sense. So that's a simple one, but it's annoying.
Yeah, it's weird to set up such a great scene and then ruin it to the next episode. This is why you needed a time reset in the episode so desperately to have things come to pass and blah blah blah. It would have been nice if her vision was a symbol. The vision had to happen, but the only difference, all she could do was get off the bridge. That was, everything else had to happen, but then she could undo it. The one thing her mum, so I say undo the season. The one thing that her mum couldn't do is change her own destiny. That would have been kind of cool if that's the time loop that, the mum can't undo her own event, although she couldn't be doing the event. But Burnham can undo her mum's event, and that'll ripple and change more things. So as soon as he misses, you're wondering, well, why is he missing? Because you can't explain it. There is no reason he's missing. He's deliberately missing. Why is he deliberately missing?
He's distracted because Michael Burnham's not there, and she's the most important thing ever. So he's worried because he can't see her.
Well, that's the joke about the flash forward as well, is that his plan then, both times, is to beam aboard, personally. Is to disable the ship, beam aboard, kill the crew, get the data. That's the plan. So naturally, if that's it, what you would do, if you were a logical program, is you'd not attack Enterprise because you've got lots of ships to lose. You'd disable the Discovery shields. You'd then target the life support after the shields are down, or beam a torpedo onto the life support, blow that up, we don't need it, and then walk aboard and get the data. Or just disable the shields and do it, whatever. There's logical ways about it, and so just, he happens to get in, and he beams aboard, which is not according to his plan. It's just I'll use this time right now, that's a good opportunity. And misses, and then just... The Leland character is so wasted in this episode, just beyond belief.
Yeah.
It's a classic ruins the villain again from season 1. Just don't give us a great scene and then ruin it by having him not actually do anything useful, because he's a tactical AI controlling a human body with pinpoint accuracy, pinpoint brain. He can shoot everyone, kill them. Yeah, it's weird, Stuart.
It is weird.
Poor writing. Poor writing.
Jason though puts in $10.
Oh my god! Thank you.
What was the point of Jet Reno's vision if it didn't go anywhere? Rumor has it that the Admiral and Jet places were switched last moment. That Jet was supposed to die on the torpedo. Well, at the torpedo. That would have made a lot more sense considering she had the vision of the torpedo, same as Michael did. But yeah, it's kind of the thing that never went anywhere. And it would have been cool to have her die trying to disarm a torpedo because she's a super awesome engineer. Than an admiral who's got a degree in psychology. I don't know. It could be that they were switched last minute, but I find that very interesting actually. Because to tie in with Jet's vision, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that yet, but in terms of, I think that's a really interesting idea. Yeah, that would have been at least slightly worth having, because then you would have doubled down. Why'd you pick up Jet at the start? Because she can do some stuff, but if you had to pick up Jet Reno to also save the ship, to also let them go into the future, there's more of a... That makes a lot more sense, actually.
Yeah.
And then she could, pretend... I could see her pretending to fix the torpedo to Pike oh yeah, it's fine. Just go to the bridge, Captain. Turns around, goes
Yeah.
to the bridge. As he gets in the turbo lift, she runs up, closes the door. He's like, sorry, Captain, it can't be disarmed. And he's like, no, Jet.
I didn't have enough duct tape. Boom.
Yeah, yeah,
Would've
yeah.
been-
And then she like presses more buttons, closes like triple blast doors.
Yeah.
And then the doors close, and as it closes, it explodes. And he's like, oh no. Yeah, that would have been much better, actually. Wow. Damn, son.
And then he opens up a little latch hidden on the turbo lift and opens it up, and there's rolls of duct tape, and he's like, oh. Anyway.
Yes, and Toko first has a great point. The future isn't set, which is what several people say, but the red bursts were set, so fixed points in time Burnham had to get that far at least. So the future isn't set, and yet they have fixed points of future, which only happen because of control in the future. So there are fixed points. Yes.
Renee Monkeo puts
Cool
in
name.
a super chat. I'm not sure of what currency, but so I apologize. Rachel Tachele needs to work on the series. Now, I don't know who that is, but if she can write better, which I'm sure most third graders could, by all means, have
They
her
are
join.
Chilean pesos, which is awesome.
Okay.
And that equals out to hold on. No. Wait, hold on.
Currency conversion live here on Trek Yards this evening.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat, regardless. And I don't know who she is, but I need to look her up, I guess. But
£1.50. Okay.
perfect.
Thank you.
All right, so we are on to number 4, or your number 5. Have you given your 5 yet?
Yes, that was Control's battle plan or lack
They
thereof.
missed my second super
Wait, that was
chat.
my 6.
Oh,
That was my 6. So you're on your
hopeful
5.
3135 puts in £2.
Thank
Do a season overview. I thought that's what this was. Sorry. We probably will do a season overview at some point. Just not today. But thank you. Sorry for missing your super chat too, by the way. So what am I on? Sorry.
So you are on number 5.
No, I'm not. 'Cause I just did that. That was Leland's aim.
Oh, sure. My number 5 is, I called it Drone Army of Unlimited Explosions.
Oh, so my number 6.
Yes.
Too many ships.
Yes. In the context of this, all that drone army is allows the explosions to exist.
Yes.
That's it. They don't do anything in the battle. They don't main the thing. If you didn't have them, then you couldn't have all these ships exploding all the time because.
It wouldn't feel like a high stakes battle without all the explosions and movement going on.
And so they said, how do we have explosions and yet still have an Enterprise survive them without damage because we know it must. Discovery survive without damage, so we don't want to change the model. So they want ships not damaged because why not? Let's make drones and shuttles and kill them all because we create power and stakes. It's like, wow. You literally just invented them to blow up. Because if they're that easy to have, then why don't they use them in future shows? Why don't they have why don't the Romulans use drones? I mean, okay, they're not effective, obviously, but it's just they're literally just written in. It's sad when you can see past the storyline and just see the let's write it in to make the scene work. There's no thought behind it beyond, we need explosions, so we'll write that in. We need lots of ships, okay, we'll do 2 more. We need drone ships, let's do a drone ship. Like, there's no, there's no thought. But I'd be interesting to re-edit these 2 last episodes because I do think now, having seen both, this needs to be a 1 episode or 2, or actually give us a story that's 2 stories because it's such a broken 2-parter now. All the character stuff is in part 1 where they push that too far, and then the battles in the second one they push that too far beyond belief, and they throw in so much padding that definitely didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
When you could have had between the episode, keep cutting to Tyler on Klingon on Kronos trying to convince L'Rell, and then the last shot of the episode is the D7 jumping to warp or something. Have those and say, well, can we get to the battle in time? We don't know. We do. It's plot, but at least there's that sense. Yeah.
Cool. Well, all right. So now for one of my favorites. This one has visuals for me.
Number 4.
This is number 4, Pike's hull damage. So look, It's the saucer. Look, there's a torpedo lodged in the saucer. It's near the front of the ship. Looking for the photos himself. That's okay. But here we got the torpedo lodged in. There's Pike standing there. And from the side, in case you guys want to see what it looks like from the side, there's the side of the saucer. Torpedo lodged near the front. Probably not this close to the front, but still.
It
Pike,
changes between the CGI and the diagram anyway.
yeah. Pike standing here, right there where the door is. Explosion takes out to back here. And here's another diagram to show it. And I made sure that it had straight struts just because. But anyway, so yes, you see the torpedo up here, and that's where Pike was standing. But the damage caused goes way far back. Pike would have been consumed 100% by that explosion. It would not have stopped at the bulkhead. Based on the pictures that we see of the ship later. Just stupidity, not thought out, dumb.
So the visual canon doesn't correspond with the visual canon.
Yeah, just...
Oich vey.
It just made my head hurt and annoyed me so much.
Is this one thing you really noticed at the time, or is it one of the things...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, as soon as I saw the ship go, I'm like, what? Nothing made sense. And it just annoyed me. It was one of those things that annoys me when I see it on screen. And yeah, it's just a visual. Just enjoy it. Yeah, fine. Well, anyway, he would have been scooped out like a... It's like somebody took a giant bite out of the saucer. He would have been like right in the middle of their mouth as they closed their teeth, kind of feel, you know?
And here's the 3 relevant perspectives.
Which is
where the weapon is, which is clearly pretty near the front. Well, it's a big ship, obviously. But given the size of the torpedo, we can get a sense of, because the torpedo's huge.
We see the torpedo inside with people beside it, so we know how big it is. Yeah. We know how far from the door it was. And let's do the math.
And it's well past the registry.
Yes.
Between the registry and the hull, and it's definitely registry taken up. And there's also windows there that don't exist on the hull. Because if that is literally the edge 3 of the hull, then the ship's much, much, much smaller than it's meant to be. Then the destruction makes even less sense, because that destruction would include the bridge. And then things like all the different walkways wouldn't make sense, because they don't line up with the scale of the ship either. We'll do a full episode about this later when we actually really analyse. There's actually more hints in the episode. Yeah. It's one of the things where the written narrative of it is one thing. To appear in the saucer, doesn't matter where. We'll reuse the briefing room set. Okay, great. We'll change window arrangements so it doesn't look like the same thing. Great. Okay, that should be the front of the hull. But then the word to the VFX department was in the hull. Okay, we'll just put it in the middle. Great. And then we need to cut out the saucer. Okay, great. We'll do a big cut, because that's the dialogue and destroys half the saucer.
Yep.
And then the graphics people will show it even closer to the front of the saucer. But you put all those together, just like episode 1, where they say the Enterprise has 400 people, even though the diagram shows 200, or vice versa. So they're wrong in their own sequence.
Maybe the explosion happened, and then as Pike went away, the pieces of the ship started crumbling away because it's just made of crap. And the bulkhead door, which stayed intact, everything around it collapsed, so it kind of fell into space.
I mean, it would have been fine if the turbolift, because it would have made more sense, but the turbolift had started moving up, and then you hear it go, and he hits his head on the side, and then he says, bridge, what happened? Did it go off? Yes, sir, we lost decks 8 to 2. And
then as he steps off the turbolift, you see the damage to the hull from the exterior on the view screen.
Yeah.
Because they've looked and see the damage. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense then, because the turbolift's already moving. Turbolifts move fast.
Yeah.
It could have gone back and then up, Yeah.
Perfect. Because then you wouldn't have also plot armor of surviving a point-blank damage. It would have fixed all those problems. That would have been a more visually fun scene, because I can imagine also if the Admiral had manually told the... if it's manual shutter control and manual go control for some reason. So she had said, goodbye, Pike. No, wait! Rather than just standing there and watching and being like, oh no, the explosion, the destruction of half, 1/3 of my saucer, the pain.
Yes.
This wouldn't have blinded me.
Yeah. Cameron Ward puts in $2. The Romulans did use drone tech in Enterprise. Not really. That was the Flea, and it was a holographic. I don't like that being called a drone, and I don't buy it. I don't agree with it being called drone tech. It was a drone in the sense that it was not piloted, it was not manned, it was controlled remotely, but it's not a drone.
Yeah, and just before I touch on that, Tokyo First says this is a trick equivalent of Indiana Jones surviving in the nuke explosion.
I saw that, in a fridge. Yeah,
that's true. In terms of the, what was it? What was the point you had?
The Romulan drone ships.
Oh, yeah. So it's called a drone. It's a drone in terms of just like the military controls aircraft from their base back home. It was being telekinetically controlled, psychically thingy by a super specialist rig designed for literally, Andorian special people that aren't dime a dozen. You had to be a special one of their race as well.
Yeah.
And it had great range, great ability. It was very cool technology, but you could do 2 at a time, but that really hurt, and that was not recommended. So 2's max, and it had to be manually controlled, and had limitations, and the entire ship was built around that one purpose. And it's a big ship. It has a big ship designed for it, and it was on the capital. Yes, it could go across the galaxy, but I'm sure they had the biggest sensor grid. I'm sure it was bouncing off multiple sensors and multiple deflectors around the planet, whereas this was an AI controlling 200 drones via 2 ships, unmanned, perfectly. So it's not the same level. I can buy 1 with special technology rather than 100. Like, this ship is designed for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roberto Suarez puts in $2. Shuttles pouring out of the Enterprise. Yeah, I called it like a clown car. That's actually one of my honorable mentions. Just the clown car shuttle bay is what I said.
Number 4, 198 shuttles, fighters, vehicles fitting to both ships.
Oh, that's yours. You jumped ahead with number 4.
Well, I just thought are we at number 4?
No, we are at 4 because I said Pike Stanton which is number 4. So yes, so perfect timing for that, Roberto. Awesome.
Attention, core, Stuart, core.
Somebody's got to.
Exactly. It's funny. The first watch, this show is very much a what can I get away with first watch sort of show, because what I thought was a bit odd, you just sort of go past it, but it's doubly weird because before this episode, and you see ships flying out of the hangars, there are already ships outside the hangars. So not only do all the ships that come out fit, which is absolutely impossible, ships have already come out of the hull. And it goes well beyond the J.J. Abrams 37 shuttles on a Kelvin, which is actually a bigger ship than this ship with a bigger bay.
28.
Thank you.
I counted 28 Kelvin shuttles.
And you can see this shot here is laughable. I mean, you're looking at dozens. Now, the problem is you could write it cleverly, right? For example, if number 1, if Piker got word to her, hey, we'll probably have to fight someone sometime. What's a good way of doing that? Fighters? And she said, sir, we hollowed out the secondary hull. We removed all the stuff in the refit. Our entire secondary hull is shuttle bays, and we brought 100 fighters to the battle. And you'd say, yes, with the upscaled ship, maybe? And then Discovery has 20, and then you have 150 max. It's like, ooh, I mean, really pushing it, but maybe. But just no. And they're arbitrary numbers. The fact that the 200 didn't make a difference in the battle. Could have been, you have 37, well, we have 100. Look again. Oh no, 100 drones launched. That's cool. But it's like, what? Yeah, there's no rationale there. And the visual effects people should have known better. It's just like the torpedoes at the nacelles. They should have known better. And that's one of the hints, it's the wrong team doing it. They should have known better. It shouldn't have got through any of the levels. It shouldn't have got through previs. Because it got through previs, you know?
Yeah. And Eugene puts in 1,000 rubles. Thank you very much, Eugene. DOT-7's out-of-universe design and purpose, but straight out of Phantom Menace with no effect on the story whatsoever. Egregious budget mismanagement. Blah. Speak English, Stuart. Yes, I totally agree with you. We did an episode on that today. It was a scene that didn't need to be there. They could literally cut that out and it would have been perfectly fine. It had no effect into the story later. Just wasn't needed.
It's expensive filler.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's like a 3D model they had lying around. Like, can we use that? Yeah, let's do this scene. It's just like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sharp 2026 puts in €229. Felt like a Battlestar Galactica battle, only worse. It felt like a Battlestar Galactica battle, only less shaky cam. And, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But still, it was still too busy. Because it's funny, the Battlestar Galactica battles, the explosions are very limited to the flak shield. That's it, right? And then you kill a ship. But because you only have like 30 Vipers at any given time ever, every single hero ship explosion is a loss of a person. And you can have kills of Cylons, but then you're looking at a one location explosion, because it's like we zoom in at a battle, then you see a set of kills on that line. But then normally you cut to heroes in the battle like Starbuck, and she's doing manual parting, and you see from her perspective killing a ship, and it's all very focusable and understandable. And you never get even in those battles, despite losing people, they kept that amazingly fine balance of, wow, we haven't killed too many of our pilots each episode to have none left. I mean, that's such a fine balance. It's pretty on the nose, but just right kept. Yes. And I had someone I wanted to comment back to.
Well, Sam Vimes is disappearing because he's that Sam, but see you later.
What, sorry, Stuart? You zoomed out, all I heard was Sam. Me, Sam? What?
Oh, no, Sam Vimes is leaving the channel because of what apparently one of our moderators, but moderators have been doing nothing wrong, so.
Oh.
Bye, Sam.
Have a good day.
Yep. Sorry about that.
I don't know what my point was going to be there, but what was your point? It was the...
About what?
The point we're on your... Oh, no, it was mine, wasn't it? The shuttles. Still on my...
Yeah, we just finished the shuttles one.
Yeah. It just boils down to, should have been capital ships. Should have been epic, big space battle. Capital ships are always more interesting, because you can argue the whole joke of shields at 20%, shields at 10%, works with capital ships. You can't do it with shuttles. They get blown out every second. And like we say, how many of the crew died in those shuttles? Because they're all manned. 200 shuttles, 200 crew, and I don't think you brought 200 volunteers. And guess what, Stuart? If they had enough warning to get 200 fighter volunteers, why didn't they ask your friends in the fleet to bring more capital ships? So it's obviously the crew. It's not no one extra. Otherwise, you'd have brought more ships. And he would assume if they had if they had spare 200 fighters, why wouldn't they again ask more capital ships? Yeah, that's a good point. And Admiral says, number one, Una, why are you requisitioning 200 fighters? Do we need to be worried? Oh no, sir, don't worry about me. Don't think about it any second longer. Don't need your help at all. No, I insist. We'll have a Magellan and a Baran on course. You've got on your side. Oh no, sir, it's fine. Don't worry. It's like, oh, okay, if you're sure. We're sure, sir. It's like, what? Okay. Very strange. Yes. Your number 3. Now this is the final 3. The 3 most things that you're annoyed about and the worst things in season 2, episodes 14 Discovery. Number 3.
Okay, well, number 3 is absolutely no goddamn battle damage to the hull whatsoever at the end where they're heading after Michael in the Red Angel suit. The Discovery looks clean and pristine, and maybe she's made of like undestroyum because it's almost like, yeah, not a scratch on her. Well, yeah, it's a brand new ship. But I remember episode 3 of season 1 where they're like, oh, there's not even a scuff on the shuttle bay floor. That's because the ship is made of unscuffanium. It's actually 50 years old, but goddamn, it looks new. Because that ship looked pristine as hell, considering all the explosions that were going on. I realize shields, I realize that there are shields, but still, it's ridiculous. There are too many explosions, too long in battle for the way it looked.
And we know for a fact they had 10 minutes of the battle in real time without shields. They explicitly say shields are gone, and also the amount of explosion time left on the torpedo. I mean, you could obviously argue that they didn't attack Discovery anymore because Leland was on it. But you would think, let's just disable everything about the ship, because if it can warp, it's a danger. If it could fire torpedoes, it's a danger. If it's a spore drive, it's a danger. And he can easily rebuild it with his, knowledge of all the stuff. It's not a risk. I guess it just stopped firing at Discovery, and then you would think if they stopped firing at Discovery, it would then be whatever. Yes.
Apparently somebody said if you look very closely when it's going into the rift, there's damage.
I mean, there's a picture on the screen, and I see no damage.
Linder TO, if you look closely just before they enter the rift, you can see Discovery has damage. Okay,
well, let's look at the other few pictures, because, like I say, the current one has no damage. I mean, there's a couple of black spots here, but, that's nothing.
I've watched it a few times, and I really didn't see any damage. I saw, when it's in movement, it looks different, too, than a still. And I've seen it a few times, and it just doesn't look damaged at all, especially considering the battle they were just in.
I mean, it should be Year of Held. I mean, nothing else would be okay. I'm looking at this picture, and I mean, if you're really sort of pushing it, then yes, you could say that on the left-hand pylon, just before it connects to the nacelle, there's a slight bit of black. And on the edge of the saucer ring, there's a couple little blacks, but I think that's just part of the hull. And there's maybe a couple of specks of black around it. But there's a couple of specks of black, maybe. But if that's not token damage that is never seen up close, I don't know what is token damage that's never seen up close. I mean, how much more pathetic can you get, honestly? Do you see what I'm talking about, Stuart?
What's that you cut out?
Did you see what I'm seeing? I do see battle damage a second shot, but do you see where I mentioned?
I can see a few little things, yeah, which I'll take as battle damage, sure. I mean, I just didn't see them when I watched it the few times I did. As it passed by, it just seemed pretty pristine. So, what, I'll capitulate and say I might be wrong on that one. But okay, instead of no damage to hull, very little damage to hull. There should have been stuff that was much more obviously hull damage than what we got.
And also in this shot, there are also multiple teeny scorch marks. But again, incredibly small, pathetically small scorch marks. I mean, you would have thought with the shields down, the first thing you'd send your drones to do would be to go through that open shuttle bay door, go on the shuttle bay hangar, and just start shooting your guns. I mean, you could rip through their entire secondary hull very quickly. I mean, I assume you can see so there is battle scoring, but again, if the shields were down and they shot the guns, they should have destroyed the hull armor. We haven't got a bit of hull armor yet. We've just got hull armor, and this ship's the cream of the crop, Section 31. You would assume and the capital ships, if the shields are down, why aren't the big blue phaser beams firing and ripping through? So it's beyond token. They should have destroyed one nacelle. They should have ripped apart the spore drive. They should have disabled one of the impulse engines. Now the shuttle bay door is open because the door is destroyed. Make the first 5 episodes of season 3 repairing the ship with your robots and your work bees.
Yeah. Well, the DOT-7s had time to polish it before it took off.
But thank you for pointing out the damage, though. The one shot we're using in the episode is not, but the other ships do. So thanks so much. We're not gonna.
I'm willing to admit that I was wrong. I mean, sure. I just changed it from no battle damage on the hull to not. It's not severe enough.
Token.
Yeah. But thank you. Super Coops puts in 2 pounds. I wish my car was made of unscuffanium. Yeah, me too. That'd be awesome. And TXR Way puts in 5 pounds. A photon torpedo has an explosive yield equivalent to 64 megatons. The Enterprise should have been vaporized. No knowledge of basic physics shown. Yes.
Yeah, but
blast doors.
But the thing is, if they've got that much explosive yield, then the explosion of the Star Trek 6 Enterprise would have also destroyed the hull. I mean, torpedoes don't have nuclear power. They just don't. You can say they do, but nothing we've seen in Trek makes us think torpedoes have nuclear power. they're just really big bombs. Otherwise, every time any torpedo hits any non-shield, the ship would go up in one big flare. So I know they've probably said that in dialogue, but they're not as powerful as nukes. They can't be. They've never been shown to be that powerful. They're more tactical,
And T-Bird Sci-Fi fan says, while holding Mikey Burnham card, your ship gains plus 99999 protective shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she was off the oh, it doesn't matter. We have the card. Okay. I was going to say she was off the ship. But
So it would have been fun it would have added some tension if they'd seen the 39 ships, go past the ship and actually score it and cause damage, and then Cyrus saying, sensors are down, this is down, this is down. Give us a real sense of power, and the Enterprise has to defend it, and then the Enterprise explodes, now its shields are down, and you could have really amped up, especially if you could have brought both ships to the point of death. The Enterprise already looks pretty bad. If you knew you were going to defeat Leland by magnetizing him and that stops everyone else, and it's that easy, then why didn't you just bring it to absolute destruction? You had the ability to, and you have Klingon and Ba'u ships there. I'm sure it would have helped you out, or killed you, but one or the other. Be over quick. And you're in Federation space anyway, and once control's gone, you have access to communication signals, and every ship is very close. So, just missed opportunity after missed opportunity. It's hard to argue against. I'd be fascinated to see. I'd love to talk to the writers, because I can't imagine they're proud of this stuff, the plot holes, unless their aim is just to create stuff they don't think about. But then all the shows all the shows are layered and deep.
No, they don't want us to think about it and analyze it like this. So.
But that's not Star Trek.
It is to them. It's their version.
Then it shouldn't get praise for being good Star Trek.
Remember, they're making it for the new generation that has the attention span of 2 seconds because of all the apps and something shiny. It's not anyway.
Yeah.
Don't want to insult anybody, but all right. So that was my number 3. What's yours?
My number 3. This is a very specific one, and I'll get the image first. And I can get them quicker now because I've got on both tabs. Very specific one because it annoyed me the second time watching it. For again, its lack of logical thought.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me and logical thought.
No. Before we get into your logical thought, though, because you're going to go on for 10 minutes.
20.
So Eugene... Oh, okay, I'll go take a nap. But Eugene puts in 250 rubles. What can damage the hull in this universe? Even internal door window survives torpedo blasts with no scratches. Transparent aluminum, Durasteel, vibranium. It could be... what's the Star Wars equivalent? Transparent steel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 3 is, and I quote, "Why Control ignores Burnham entirely after it moves away from Discovery? The only thing that would make a difference in this fight."
My guess would be there were so many targets to lock onto or to keep track of that it didn't notice her. That'd be my guess.
I mean, you just scan for time crystal readings because it's just on the back of a suit, open to space.
True.
It's
true.
just there.
Well, that ties in with part of my number 8. I'm back now.
Your number 8?
It ties in with my number 8 is Control's lack of plan. Just not having a plan in the situation.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching a different episode when they do this kind of cool maneuver, sure, and then they say, "We're safe now, Burnham." And it's like...
And hold on, Baz, I don't mean to cut you off. Base Clef Chef says, Foley, I wish you would watch TOS in the same hypercritical manner. We've done the Enterprise incident, and we're going to be doing more. We're going to actually go through season 1 of TNG, and we will get to TOS, and we're going to analyze them exactly like we are here, pointing out all the plot points and stuff.
And the problem is, we're not being hypercritical. We're pointing out the biggest 10 problems each, and our problems are relatively the same. These are just massive plot problems. We're not nitpicking. We're not saying, "Ooh, the LCARs should be a darker shade of green." These aren't nitpicks. These are big plot problems that are fundamental to the season. And guess what? A season finale with a 14 episode arc with 20 characters with plots is not as the TOS episode is not as complicated, so there aren't as many plot elements to, have go wrong. This episode is about the American flag being on a planet and the Klingons.
Oh, that's a huge hot plot point right there. But
Yeah, but it's like there's only 3 plots, and 2 are good, 1 doesn't work. I mean, that's
it's like best of both worlds. The cliffhanger. I can guarantee you has 1 or 2 problems with the plot, or things that don't make sense, but not nearly as many as this one. Which we'll eventually get into that. But yeah, don't worry. We'll look at everything super critical in the same eye we do this. So
yeah, all Trek is created equal in terms of problems. All problems are created equal. As I was trying to say, so the suit leaves the battle with Spock, and they say, "We're safe, Michael." And it's like, but we had but Control knows everything about the suit because it knew you were the suit person. It knew Michael's mum was a suit person. It knows it can time travel. It has the data for it. It knows that without the time travel ability, you can win this battle. I'm sure it's technical, because it doesn't know their plan. So all it knows is, I've got 31 ships, I can outpower them, great, cool, that's the plan. So it's going to be looking for their plan. The time suit. Ooh, the time suit launches. I'll kill that. Like, I would pivot all of my ships to kill her, and the fact that it gets visibly in range, like, they're not a light year away, they're like 10,000 kilometers away, visible.
It opens up an interesting question. Does Section 30 constructed in a suit or have a time crystal? Does it have that knowledge? Would it even be thinking that there's a possibility of a time suit being created? Or was that something that it had no knowledge of? Because if it wasn't even on its radar, because I don't know, would Section 31 know they had a time crystal?
Well, that's... Yes, but you would again assume that they have information from their future self. That's how Arium got the information, because Future Control told Arium, and this Control learned Arium's information. And it has in the database of Section 1 the scans of what time crystal's radiation is. I'm sure you'd be tracking that just in case Michael's mum appears or something else. You would be searching for that. But just, I don't buy for a second it didn't detect Michael, because the fact that if what is this weird formation? What is it protecting? Oh no, it's gone, never mind.
Yeah.
That's what happens in the scene. There's nothing else to that scene. It just leaves and it gives up. But it's like, if a time suit is in play, you might not win. And the fact that they could stand here, never be detected, like, clearly the shuttle's still on. I'm sure Section 31 Control would say, wow, there's one shuttle outside the battle. What's it doing? Probably their plan. I'll send all my 300 spare drones to investigate. I got this. All my smaller ships. Like, there's zero reason they're not being investigated, zero reason not being attacked. And as soon as Michael does, minority report, like, you can detect that.
The only thing that I can think is just the fact there's such sheer numbers of ships in the battle, and sheer number of drones that Control is in fact controlling, plus worried about Leland and trying to focus on that thing. There's too much going on for it, so it's focusing on what it perceives as an actual threat, kind of like the Borg. I don't want to pull in the Borg to this, but they ignore anything that's not important, anything that's an immediate threat they focus on. That thing out there, whatever, we'll get to that when we destroy the Enterprise and kill all these other drones and shuttles. Right now, focus on these. I mean, I can see that being a case, but then again, it's a future computer program with future tech. I mean, computers today can do trillions of operations per second. So
that's great. I mean, that's
a little bit far-fetched. I mean, it's more complex, I guess, but it's still.
But the problem is we never get any indication that Leland, like, is actively controlling everything.
Oh yeah, I know.
Or having a struggle. I mean, it's very easily guessable. Like, I wouldn't assume that whoever normally runs the Section 1 ships has to manually control the drones, because that would sort of defeat the purpose. I'm sure there's automatic subroutines inside the computers, and they're relatively efficient in themselves. I mean, the fact that computer can say, defense pattern Omega-3, there's default patterns. So Leland doesn't need to actively thinking about 200 drones because he's got 31 ships of computers. And all he has to do is put himself in each one, because he's not himself. It's a computer program it was already on ships and stations and people. I mean, it should be on each ship as an individual identity. There's no reason it isn't.
Yeah.
And each one would control its own ships. And I get what you mean, and that would have been a great plot point if they'd said, Leland, as soon as he launched the things, you saw him like go, "Urgh, all I can do is to control them. He's thinking about too much." Then that explained why the battle's so dumb, for the most part. But just
It would also explain the way you can't shoot for shit.
yeah, it would. No, it would. It seriously would, and because you've got Control from the future telling them some of the secrets, but guess what? Control now hasn't got the evolvedness to be able to actually do the physical controlling of people that the future one can do properly. Like, it can't balance everything like its future self can. It's like when I was at university, I could drink more, but I still remember being able to drink more. So if I go back and drink the same, I can't. But if me from then came now and said, "Hey, drink this," but it's really dumb. And as soon as Michael red signaled back after her jump, that red signals cause a massive energy burst that you can detect across the quadrant, Stuart. That's what the red signals do. The red signals are like that
Yes.
wormholey thing is part of that.
Yes.
So he should have said, "Time dilation. All 200 or 130 ships, go and kill them both." And then you kill the suit, you kill Burnham, you can't open the wormhole, and now it's like, well, damn. Like, there's no rationale. This is why if it was a one-parter, the pace would have been fine, because everything's like parallel, that he's already almost killed by the time they do this, or la la la. It would have been a lot better. So I just have a big problem with that whole bit, because I literally lost any suspension of disbelief when this started. I'm just like, you've completely forgotten the rules of the game in the game. So why am I meant? And then a phaser blast comes from outside the battle, hits the shuttle, disables the shuttle, doesn't destroy the piece of metal, doesn't affect her. I guess it was a ricochet red phaser blast that fired a billion miles away, and then they didn't think, "Oh wow, we hit that shuttle. Let's go and destroy it again." It's just contrived.
All right. Time for my number 2. You ready?
Ooh, your runner-up.
This was a jockeying for position with number 1, but I finally made a decision. The Baul fighters and Saru's sister, flying one, because they're and calling out the warriors of Camomar. Bullshit. So they went from a peaceful, existence of eating kelp, being sacrificed, to actively going and finding the Baul, probably overthrowing them, maybe killing them all, taking all their technology, learning how to use it, and becoming proficient with it enough that they can actually. And she survives the battle, by the way, because she's at the end. She's cheering them on. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. So yeah, I had a real problem with that. I understand that Baul are technologically advanced. Their fighters, I'm sure, could tangle a little bit, make it up this far, or whatever. But the fact that the Kelpians are now doing it, so
yeah, it's another filler moment, which again need a new design. It's like, what are you doing? Why do you keep designing new things that serve no purpose? We don't even see them do anything. We don't even see.
They should have looked like the obelisks. They should have been the same shape as the obelisks.
Well, why didn't those obelisks come in? I mean, bring in 4 capital ships that are massive. That would look cool. Why would fighters be effective? You've got warp-capable capital ships that were meant to be a threat when they appeared. What makes you think fighters are a threat? I mean, Saru should be saying, "No, sister, you'll be killed." Oh, she's killed. Damn it! One phaser blast. Like, that should have been the epic moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it jars for lack of sense for many reasons. And yes, you're right. The context, actually, of this scene, there's more evidence in this scene that they've just killed the Baul completely than they've become friends. Like, the fact they can use it and got it, the Baul just wouldn't give them fighters. Well, I mean, we've been killing you for 1,000 years, but in a 2-month space.
Yeah, but don't kill us. We got a deal. See all these fleet of fighters? You know what? We don't really need them. We'll teach you how to use them. Just spare our lives. You can have them.
Oh no! The fire rained down us. Our own fighters. We were so stupid.
Well, that came later, but
that came later. Well, yeah. She got a taste of blood, didn't she? Her first kills.
Yes.
If I could do this with 1 week of training, like Rey in The Force Awakens, of course I can go back and save my, yeah, it's ludicrous. And like I said, there are no warriors of Kaminar. I know someone said that because they're evolving, they're going back to their warrior roots, but it's like,
Mhm.
but it's
Eventually,
but that you're still gonna get
not in a month.
trained.
Yeah, not in a month or 2 months, however long it's been. It would have been years, decades for them to recover, regain that confidence, that strength, that organization. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
it's too much against it.
yeah, and their evolution, and ironically, you would think the original Chimerian thing where they can sense coming of death, that'd be really useful in a dogfight, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Oh
but
no,
if
I'm
it
gonna
was,
get killed.
my,
Ooh.
my spidey sense is tingling.
Yeah, it'd be great.
'Cause that's what it is. Yeah.
So you kind of lost an ability by, it not believable. And also these fighters, are you telling me the little stick creatures in Ooze are flying them with opaque view screens windows? It's like I don't see them piloting these.
Well, like I said, I don't think that's visually representative of what they look like. It was just
Yeah,
a way to. It could have been like a hologram or something to scare, put fear into people.
yeah,
Because I don't think they would look like that, to be fair. But that's for another discussion, for another episode.
yeah. So and it's sad when they create an issue like this when it doesn't even serve the plot in any way. Like it's not
Mhm.
even important, you know.
And the life dyslexic you came in would like to learn how to fly a jet plane. Yeah, it's like Battlefield Earth. The ancient. Oh, did I get cut off again? Did you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Battlefield Earth, yeah.
Oh, yeah, where the primitive men find the Harriers and the jets and are eventually flying them. It's like, wow. Yeah, because that's likely. Yeah, just stupid. Hellrats 96 puts in $5. How did they know about 7 signals if Burnham had to send 2? Heck, how did they know with them discovering a new one every episode? Shake my damn head. Well, it starts off with the season with the 7 signals, and Spock had drawn a little pictures of them over time, so he knew about the signals, and so there were 7 signals. But yeah, that's a whole other issue.
I've got a massive thing about that.
So I'm sure you do.
Oh,
Eugene
and
puts in.
sorry, Toko first says the range of signals causing such an EMP and able to completely disable the Enterprise using current tech didn't match up at all. Yeah, the EMP isn't caused by the red signals; it's caused by the suit, because she's actually on the ground floating after the wormhole's already done, and then makes a
Yeah.
you know.
And Eugene puts in 200 rubles and says, I guess they had plenty of training while wiping out the rest of the Baul.
Yeah.
Yep. They took their planet back. The other side of the planet is all scorched and black.
Yeah.
Evolution.
And Tissar Trek says, of the worst things of the final episode was who tipped the Baul? Why were they already on their way to an unknown location without the ability to signal? Because the comm channels were down, but if you can still signal to the Baul planet, which is not in Federation space, far away, then why
the way
can't
that's
signal...
dealt with too is was it Tyler said we contacted by one of your crewmen, and it's like kind of like a mystery, like who could it be? Because even Sarah's like, it just would Tyler even bother with that, considering he's got the Klingons?
Well, they wouldn't say yes. Any sane person would say the Baul wouldn't say yes. You've destroyed their entire ecology a month ago. Yeah. Why would they send their fleet out? They wouldn't. But luckily,
my brother's on that ship.
But luckily, the uprising went well. The Kelpians now killed Baul, and she's very sensitive to her brother's death. Lucky coincidence. And lucky they're warp fighters. They only got warp a year ago or 5 years ago. Luckily, they can all go warp 9.975 and reach this place within the same hour? Because again, if it was Tyler, then he got word to them, and they got there within 1 hour. Less than an hour, because they got there half through the battle.
Maybe the Baul fighters docked in the huge ass Cleve ship because it's part transport, and then they launched right before they decloaked.
Yep, that's more likely. But then
it is more likely.
To Klingon space, and so so Tyler had to say, "Baul, please fly here. We've got 22 minutes left. Fly here at maximum warp, or we'll pick you up halfway." But we can only go as fast as the Cleve ship, though, which can't go maximum warp because it's massive. D7's much smaller and can go maximum warp. Yeah, it's not a good plot point. Doesn't work at all. My number 2.
Yes.
This is a slight cheat. Slate. The Control overall season story, because it is finalized in this episode. You know, their plan is you need to get the sphere data to evolve, and that's the entire plot of the Control this episode. So it still features in this episode. And then going to the future is because the Control, like the entire Control storyline breaks down so drastically in this episode. What's the motivation? Why? When? Who? If? Because? There's nothing. It's so razor thin. Like every episode we're hoping the next one will have more answers or have more explanation, but it goes in with less than it started. You know, it's amazing. It's such a poor overall Control storyline. So the Red Angel suit's not a bad season storyline. It's actually quite intriguing. You know, I think overall, yeah. But the Control stuff really poor, actually, when you break it down. So that just the payoff is awful.
Yeah. 2 super chats just rolled in, so thank you guys. Super Coops puts in £5. Almost every Trek battle is capital ships. Only exception maybe Federation fighters in the Dominion War and Maquis fighters. It's just not Trek. Yeah, we've done an episode. They're practical or not, but it's really an interesting discussion because it definitely goes both ways as far as good points. But Hellrats 96 puts in 10. They download the sphere data into the copy and just send that to the future.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Didn't hear any of that. I'm so sorry.
Tell me when I'm back.
You're here. Well, you're here because I told you.
Oh, I'm here now. Oh, fine. I'll try again. If they could copy Mama B's suit, Mama B, what the hell? Why would they download the sphere data into the copy and just send that to the future? Heck, why not jump far away, enough away from Section 31 couldn't catch up? I mean, it probably wasn't an exact copy. It didn't have the same mainframe.
Yeah, that was one of my honorable mentions, that you can build a suit in 1 hour. So you build 2 suits, you know you can only transfer the data onto it, not a problem. And then either you attach that suit to Michael's suit, or you just destroy that suit. Because it was letting you transfer the data onto the suit. It did in the previous episode. So it doesn't think that's a problem.
Yeah.
And you just phaser the suit. And it can't, I mean, if all of its technology is linked to the time crystal, you just don't put a time crystal in it, you phaser it, disintegrate, it's gone. Like, there's easier ways. That almost would have been more interesting if they'd found a very simple solution to the kill the information, but then Control's like, kill all Federation. Like, that would be more interesting. Like, now you've got a rampant AI without consciousness that just wants to kill. Yeah, I thought that too as an honorable mention of why don't they just build a second suit. Because they had 8 hours. It took them 1 hour to build the suit, and they had all the materials on board.
Yeah.
Or just build the data core, because that's unlimited data storage. Just build that bit, and then use that. Because if Giorgio does move the data out of the main computer of the ship, so you can do it, and it doesn't take very long. It takes less than the battle. Again, a bit daft.
A lot daft, man.
Right. What is your number one biggest problem / worst thing of the Star Trek Discovery Season 2 finale episode?
Ready? I want a drum net. I want a drum roll. My number one worst thing about this episode was the turbolift accident. The whole turbolift scene where it goes off the rails and falls through empty space that shouldn't even be there into a ceiling made of this glass which can stand a megaton blast but not a falling turbolift, and kill or almost kill Stamets and stop our heroes dead in their tracks while they're walking through a hallway. If you had regular turbolift corridors, that wouldn't be much of a problem now, would it?
Or if you made them out of the same stuff that you made the blasters out of, also wouldn't be a problem.
It's just stupid. It's been bugging me all season. They've showed it multiple times, so they keep doubling down on it. It's like, stop it. And this time it really bit you in the ass. Unless they were setting it up for this scene.
I guess so. I mean, remember I said at the time, why do it unless you're gonna like? That's a lot of money to spend building and designing. It's like, well, yeah, because they almost killed Stamets with it for some reason.
Yeah.
That's your number one worst thing.
Yes.
Well, why does that beat the rest? Because that's quite a bold thing to say. That is your top.
Because it's the absolute dumbest thing I've ever seen in Star Trek, and it's been a few times during the season, and it was just a dumb scene. I hate it. It shouldn't exist. That's not how turbolifts work. It's dumb. It is just dumb. It actually beat out one of my honorable mentions, which should probably be number one. But I thought it was incredibly stupid, and I hated it. So that's why it's my number one. Oh, do you want to know which honorable mention it beat out?
Yes, I suppose.
Why, for the love of God, did Discovery even go to the future at all? After Leland died, because they could have just been like, "Hey, we don't have to do this. All right, cool. Let's stop. All right, let's make sure he doesn't come back to life again. Burnham, you can come back now. All right, bye." It's just retarded, just dumb that they did what they did. There's no need to go to the future because Leland is now dead. Control is done.
Yeah, Discovery, the ship and the crew like to make it as hard as possible for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There are simpler solutions to every problem in this season. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Dean Prater puts in $5 and said, "Wait, if you two are here, who's defending the Alamo?" Well, obviously O'Brien and Bashir. It's their turn. We'll get to it, and we'll get to it in a couple hours.
Ezri Tegan. This is why Starfleet changed turbolift design, Stuart.
Even though in Enterprise they're correct. Okay.
And also, you can't talk about Discovery anymore. So this the accident, which probably wouldn't have made the news on Enterprise. I doubt there's a report they said in the battle. Sir, change the yeah. Trek falls to stupid turbolifts again. Happened before. Started 5. Deck 70 at the top. Yeah. And that was just as wrong.
Yes. We have a good discussion about turbolift problems with Anti-Checker, which will be available for you to watch sometime.
Yeah. Which actually works now better because there's now an extra few visuals to show.
Yeah.
Yeah, this turbolift thing is again, it's another filler. It's another expensive filler. All you had to do was have Stamets, like, just a console on the bridge, and he go to the sick bay.
Yeah, a piece of shrapnel, like, impale him.
Yeah, to show damage to the ship. That's it. That's all you need. Nothing else. You save money, you save time, you save effort, and it makes more sense. Seriously, well, guys, why not make this glass out of transparent steel glass you're using for transparent aluminum? Sorry, that you're using for the blast door. Just, please.
It would seem to be a good idea considering there's work bees and shit flying up there above it that could malfunction and crash into this corridor where an innocent person could get killed.
And what's the work bee doing if everyone's out firing fighters? And so why did that person choose to lose their family and go into the future? Like, what was that person's rationale if their job is now to be a work bee in the secondary hull, flying around?
Because he had a vision for turbolift shafts that were shafts, and he was starting to build them with his little work bee by himself in his off hours. He needed to fix this problem.
Wow.
There's a story there, my friend.
Turbolift Rides, a Star Wars story. I mean, Star Trek.
Yes. A universe of...
Oh, lol. Ninja
time
Chris
tunnels.
77. They got a time suit. Why not just go back and prevent the creation of Control itself? Yeah, I haven't considered that. Just go back and destroy the original facility that made Control. Because they can't be there very long. You just EMP that. Like, go to because you can't... I mean... Wow.
Because it's like Skynet, even though you go talk to the guy that created the chip and show him what it, eventually creates, and they go and destroy the lab, and it would still get made eventually. Or I don't know.
Okay, my number one.
What's your number one? You want a drum roll?
Yeah, I'm thoroughly surprised the one that you said, so I will. Yeah, drum roll. The cannon fix at the start. At the end, sorry. The cannon fix at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought we were going to the same number one. I was going to be like, oh, too easy.
No.
So I'm glad you it's not even on your list. So you don't even think the cannon fix scene.
It's the best they could do. The only thing I thought they were missing from that was everybody giving little pinky swears to each other. I pinky swear I'll never talk about it.
Yeah. So my problem with this, you're right. It's the best they could have done, but I think compared to all the other things which are dumb on a mostly macro level of this season or this plot, this is dumb franchise wide. You know?
Mm-hmm.
This is dumb repercussions for everything after the fact. And it's a incredibly lazy and simple reason which has no imagination. It has very minor powers to actually do what you're trying to do, and actually adds more questions because you would imagine that, I mean, can we delete all the files in Discovery? I mean, is Section 31 really going to delete them all? Are they not going to keep some sort of backup on a hard drive of the Spore drive just in case? You know, is there not going to be some copy somewhere just cause, and therefore in TNG, you know, Section 31 finds it and says, "Oh, we'll resurrect this." I mean, do you really think, can you really destroy data in the future this effectively? You know, all plans, all things.
Mm-hmm.
The data is one thing, and then people, like we said, the biggest problem isn't so much Mr. Captain Pike, never talk about the Discovery. Okay, sir. Okay, fine, he was on there for a year, whatever. His family. But it's, so imagine this interviewer guy, right? Starfleet Command, and he says, right, call the next one, and the intercom person says, this is Lieutenant John Derriman, your 485th person of the day, and their wife died at the battle of this, and this.
And their 3 children.
Yeah, and obviously 2 children, but one is in the waiting room, and that's your next person. All right, send them in. Yes, hello, sir. Right, Lieutenant. It's come to our attention that we're going to have to classify the Klingon War. What? Don't ask questions, it's classified now. If you ever speak of it, or your death of your family, you'll be court-martialed and held to treason.
So from this moment on, we've erased all evidence of your family ever existing.
Yep.
So don't speak of them.
Goodbye. Your birth record's now been changed. You've only ever had one son, because if anyone went digging, it would link to a link to a link to a link to Michael Burnham, and we can't talk about her. What, the traitor? The only traitor in Starfleet? No, doesn't exist. But wasn't she on the Discovery? What was it called? The Sport? No. No, it won the war for us. It jumped and destroyed Kuvuma's ship. No.
And we were
treason. Get her out of here. Shoot her.
We were starting to outfit many of our other ships with Spore drives at one point. Don't you remember that? Nope. Nope. Those captains, they've been talked to. It's all good.
Hey,
all the engineering staff,
the
teams.
Vulcan captain on Vulcan, the captain on Vulcan, just waiting his bags. He's now like, right, forget about your 9-month wait to command Discovery. You're now a lieutenant again, commander. You know, no captain rank there. It's just laughable. I mean, even if you had as soon as, I guess you'd have to stop the history books at Battle of the Binary Star. Just say, and they all left. Don't ask what happened to all the ships, and then in a 9-month period, 190 ships disappeared. We've no idea how. End of story. There's too many things to do. And as Pil commented in the comments previously, are the Klingons agreeing to this? L'Rell knows all about the Spore Drive, about the time suit, about all these things. Mm-hmm. Is she not telling? Is Mudd not telling? I mean, surely Mudd's knowledge of the time. I mean, Mudd literally knows how everything works as much as he can, having done the time reset 1 billion times. He knows Discovery probably better than anyone on Discovery. I mean, surely that information is worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could make millions, and then other races would be doing it. And then, I mean, it's absurd. And then Spock, as someone else pointed in the comments, Spock's answer was, let's lie. And he's also lying to these people, but Vulcans can't lie. I mean, there's ways you can push that, but he was actively lying. There wasn't just lying. It wasn't distruth. I mean, if they'd said, I don't know what happened to Discovery after it entered an energy field. Well, you're misleading. It's not a lie technically, but he said it blew up in front of my eyes. That's a lie. I mean, you're lying. You can't lie. You're lying. I guess he's still corrupt from his time with all the things. But also for Spock to suggest that is very out of character. And just as a concept, it doesn't work. It just doesn't. Yeah. And it's a shame,
Yeah, there's too many issues with it for sure, but it's honestly it's the best they could have done with what they had to fix canon. And the other thing would be a time travel reset, and they weren't going to do that.
But the fact they think they're smart is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Any super chats, Stuart?
A few.
Oh.
Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $2.99, 150 reactions. Keep it up, folks. Sweet. 150 likes. Keep it up, guys. Eugene puts in 250 rubles. No pinky swear can wipe out all the mentions of Section 31. Yeah, but I do like the fact that Section 31 is now back on track. You can literally say it. They all got annihilated in this battle. It's done. And then move on from there.
Although we still have the entire fleet though. So Vok now has 31 special secret cloakable-ish ships at his command.
Not 31. 2 of them got crushed by the Cleve ship.
True.
So
the 31 number is now gone. 31 is gone. Oh dear.
Jeff Jacobs puts in $2. I am picking up the hashtag like spike. 200. I go again.
Ooh.
And then Super Coops puts in £2 and says, maybe we could all pinky swear disco what? Yeah. We gotta go back and erase all of our reviews and all the videos in regards to Discovery, Samuel.
So what show?
Exactly. Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $2.99. Oops, 150 reacts. Jeff pays next. Okay, cool.
You guys are amazing.
Hellrats96 puts in $10. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With them jumping so far into the future, it could give a cast member from present day plenty of time to get where Discovery is going the long way via cryo chamber at warp. Cast member from present day.
Means like TNG. Well, since you can't talk about Discovery, they wouldn't know about Discovery and where it went. And the Beta Quadrant's more than 70 years away. And that's hundreds of years away. And then why would you sacrifice your life to go meet a crew that you don't know even where they are exactly at the exact date? Because they don't know the exact date they got there. There's no proof to say they got there at the right date at the right time.
The interesting thing is, the one person in TNG that would actually maybe know what the hell is going on would be Picard. Because he mind melded with Sarek and Spock. So there's chance that something about Michael or Discovery is in there somewhere that gets dislodged at some point.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's the only valid link that I could see there, but I don't know. Yes. And with the Picard series, who knows how they're going to use that or if they will.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that was just my biggest problem because it doesn't actually solve the problem and it's a super afterthought. It's like it's almost identical to the Klingons have hair now. They shave their hair because of war. And it's like
one line explanation. Yeah.
And it's like you literally just thought of that while you're on the toilet, didn't you? And you text it to your writer. He's like, "Yeah, that'll do it." And it's like, but they weren't at war beforehand, and if a civil war counts, then they're at civil wars in multiple points in Star Trek. They never shave their head, and then if you say they just didn't shave their head after the fact, then you're saying that this age-old tradition stopped as soon as they invented it. Wow! Thanks for that addition to the Trek lore.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Thanks. And I guess stupid. It's that sort of last-minute afterthought sort of thing.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. It definitely felt like we're getting canceled or we're not doing a third season. Let's just finish this up. Boom, done. No closure for any of the Discovery cast members, which is a shame because I do love the Discovery cast. we get the Pike lead off. And I had mentioned this to Samuel too. Like originally, Discovery was supposed to be an anthology series, so each season was supposed to be something new, either a new crew, new time period, whatever. This would be the perfect way to do it. One season was all, it was 2 seasons, but one season all Discovery disappears like this, and then of course, what happens the last few minutes? You get the perfect lead up to the next season, a different ship, same time, but and it's Pike. Do one season all like that, end it the same way with a satisfying or dissatisfying send off, as the case may be, and then start a new one at the end of the season to lead into the next season. Whether it be a different time period or whatever, but I mean, that'd be cool to do. They're not going to do it, obviously, but I just thought it'd be neat. And it worked out really well at the end of this one, just how it felt. It's like a handoff to another series or season, so. Anyway.
And someone just pointed out a wonderful idea that how is Star Trek Online going to handle this? Because now Discovery Spore Drivers are retconned as being not knowable, but in Star Trek Online you can play them all. But Star Trek Online tries to be canon to the Star Trek universe.
Ooh.
And
we need to talk to Thomas Maroney, see what he said. He's probably pissed.
It is just a game, but they put so much work into making it all connect, even to the point of having stories in universe in their game of how they found old ships for the Battle of the Binary Star and then built new ones. And Go Back to the Discovery Era is a holodeck simulation-y thing and all these things, but now they can't have spore drives in the future. So at that point, it's just saying, whatever, games. It's like, well, then you're not, as a massive non-canon thing that they're doing.
Well,
it's
actually quite clever. They're discrediting Star Trek Online so that when the Picard series starts up, there can be no tie-in with Star Trek Online, so people can't complain. But we already discredited that with Discovery and the spore drive thing. So you people that are complaining that the Star Trek Online stuff should be mentioned or included or leaded up into the Picard series, you're just wrong, because it's not canon, clearly. That's what they're doing. It's just a clever way of doing it. If you guys want to see a show with great writing, check out Cobra Kai. I watched part of season 1 of Cobra Kai. It's a good show. Good show. But yeah, that's my list. I'll just go through it again.
Yes, please do.
Number 10, building the suit and just the whole kerfluffle with the advanced suit being built. Number 9, the new drones on the Federation side, the weird-looking white ones that we never really get to see, don't understand what they are, but they're there. Number 8, Control's plan or lack thereof. Just a shit plan. Number 7, Poe the Queen being in a shuttle, just hanging out in the last episode, not needed. Another scene that could have been cut. Yeah. Number 6, too many ships in the battle. Just an unnecessary battle sequence. Would have been better with just capital ships, in my opinion. Maybe a few warping in at the last minute to make it a little more interesting, last longer, whatever. That would have been cool. Number 5, Leland's lack of aim or poor aim when he gets on the bridge and doesn't kill anybody. He wounds somebody, but...
Well, he probably kills those 2 guys he shoots in the shoulder, the extras that he just shoots. He probably kills those, but the one hero that he shoots just doesn't kill shooting the shoulder, even though it's a kill blast. And a kill blast should kill, because it's on kill.
Just comparing it to the Vision where he shoots everybody in the head, basically.
But how does the Rosh River survive a kill blast to the shoulder? If you have to kill blast in the face to kill, then it's not a kill blast, it's a blast. Like, that's actually another little plot hole.
Yeah, it is. Number 4, Pike's the Enterprise's hull damage, and Pike should have been scooped away with it. Number 3, no damage or very little damage considering the battle they were in to the Discovery hull. Number 2, the Baul fighters and Saru's sister and the warriors of Kaminar. Ugh. And number 1, turbolift scene. Just turbolift scene with the falling turbolift causes mayhem for our main people. Then I have 3 honorary mentions. Why the Discovery went to the future at all after after Control was stopped. The DOT-7s, again, unnecessary, not needed, didn't really add anything. And the clown car shuttle bay. Just pumping out clown cars. I mean, shuttles, like a clown car. Yeah. So that's my list.
Yeah. Some pretty big things as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My list, number 10, no Enterprise refit to be close to TOS canon. More missed opportunity there. Number 9, everyone getting to and from the battle within a day, yet no Federation ships could be bothered to show up, which would radically change the feel of the battle, and it doesn't make any sense. They feel so isolated. They even say like 7,000 ships in the season. It's like got a lot. Even like if you haven't got the full like Federation long range communication stuff, why can't they just send out a local signal with both of your ships like comm arrays? Any ships in the vicinity? Oh look, there's 3. Cool. That's it. I mean, they can send very good signals without mass long range transmissions. Number 8, the Red Angel suit. Red Angel suit, now we know, is an unmodified pre-TOS suit that can make wormholes for itself or for a ship. Same tech, unmodified. Why the hell would you design that's now really a weapon at that point, isn't it? If you can move an entire ship and like a fleet, because it was like several times bigger than the ship. I mean, you wouldn't. What? Jesus Christ. Mega powerful signals, EMP superpower, and unlimited data storage. So, God suit that's made pre-TOS, never explained, just easy. That's why we hoped that Burnham's mum was from the future, and she put in future tech, and that would have explained all. Again, easy solutions. Number 7, time suit replicated, not built, replicated, because they got replicators before replicators, and put together in under an hour. Number 6, controls battle plan or lack thereof. Number 5, the drone army of unlimited explosions, just for explosion's sake. Number 4, 198 shuttles, fighters, vehicles fit into both ships. As you said, impossible. Not even unlikely, just impossible. Number 3, Y Control ignores Burnham entirely after it moves away from Discovery. The only thing that would make a difference in this fight. The only thing. Control should be able to win without them. The only thing that matters is the suit. Number 2, Control's overall story and lack thereof. And number 1, everyone stays quiet. Canon fix.
Any honorable mentions?
Yes. The ones I removed was 31 Section 31 advanced ships plus 200 drones can't take out 2 ships. That's one. It's laughable. Battle Fighter Rescue / Sister. If they can build a time suit within an hour, why can't they build another one and transfer the sphere data into it and then destroy the suit, or just cut the data core to Burnham to take away with her? Easier than Discovery. Either way, Discovery doesn't have to go. Either way, Discovery doesn't have to go. The sphere data can't be moved except when it can. So how could it be moved into the Spore console if it takes entire ship storage or unlimited data to process? How does it go in the Spore console then? And if it can go in the Spore console, why don't you do that earlier? Because then Leland can't download it off the ship. It's in a safe little zone, and then you can't find it. Another reason, because while I don't necessarily believe Giorgio moved it, the fact that Leland couldn't find it on the ship means it wasn't on the ship's main database, and it's smart enough to find it. And then last one, why didn't Discovery mask their warp trail? As they said in the previous episode, there's no way to follow the Section 1, when Leland leaves with the control data the first time around. There's no way to detect them. Okay, if it's that easy, why don't they just spore or warp away until the power was generated? Why did they stop and fight, despite the whole point was not to stop and fight? The whole battle was redundant. Just mask the warp trails, warp away, done. Spore away to a different galaxy, done. And then spore back. I mean, the entire fight shouldn't have happened. At all. It just didn't need to. And all the deaths were because of the stupid crew. I mean, there isn't a reason for the battle to happen. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know what you guys expected from this one. That's kind of what we promised. We're at 2 hours and 8 minutes. So, guys, we're going to probably wrap it up. But thank you guys for joining us. And if you have any more super chats or anything you want to throw in last minute, that'd be great. But we will see you next week.
Yes, well, we'll see videos multiple more days.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, you'll see us, just not live us. I'm sure we'll do. Yes. We'll take at least one Friday off as we retool and work out what we're going to do.
Well, Friday I'll be in Denver. If you're going to Starfest, yeah. I'll be there. So
it's this Friday. Good.
It is this Friday.
Okay, you need to get you some stuff then.
You do.
I'm going to write that down. I talk to you right after live then. I hate when time passes like that quick, you know?
I'm not like I haven't given you lots of notice.
I know, but I've done lots of stuff in between, as you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
When are you seeing in Endgame? If you're in Denver,
No idea.
seeing on Sunday.
Hmm.
And then if we like it, we're gonna see it in IMAX after, because that'll be a nice, different experience. Oh, Matthew Goddard says, "How does sexual? How does oh, that's relevant. But yeah, last super chat, guys, then we can go. Please let us know. If Section 31 had tech decades ahead of the rest of Starfleet, 31 versus 2, even more laughable. Yes. Come on, guys, last super chat. Aha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it'll be yeah, it'll be good to have a little break from the reviews, and we'll do TNG, and enjoy this Saturdays. It'll be something truly prime. Huzzah! We all miss Truly Prime, and join us for next week's lives as well. So yeah, take us out, Stuart.
Oh, we got another super chat from Eugene, 161 rubles. So thank you very much. I've seen 161 likes. Amazing man. Also, I've seen news about Nickelodeon's Star Trek show. Damn. Yeah, that might be worth a discussion at some point too.
I mean, my only thought is wait and see. I mean,
well, yes, that's all we can do right now.
If it's the Discovery team, it'll be bad. If it's in the Discovery verse, it'll be bad, and if it's in another timeline, they'll probably ruin that timeline. I mean,
well, you're a negative Nancy today, aren't you?
Well, I mean, have they proven faith in the team?
They fixed canon, man. They fixed continuity.
Yes,
they did it.
Yes,
dude.
Yeah.
Except they put Spock in a blue uniform when and where No Man Has Gone Before he's in yellow. But who notices things like that, right?
I didn't realize that. That's funny. Okay, guys, on that very, very, very specific Spock Lotus, we'll see you next week. And of course, videos throughout the week for multiple little topics. So please do enjoy those and join for Saturday. And Stuart, what are you gonna do a live in Denver, like on the floor, even just like a hello audience?
I'll do probably a few lives this weekend. So yes, stay tuned for lives this weekend. They might be impromptu and not announced, but just keep an eye out because there'll be some cool stuff going on, most likely. So
enjoying the journey, sort of thing. All right. So until next time, guys. I am Commander Coggins,
and I'm Captain Foley.
I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.